So, let's talk about the future of work. It's probably the single biggest question on everyone's mind right now, right? What does a valuable, meaningful career even look like when AI is changing everything? Well, we're going to dive right in and unpack it.
But first, I have a question for you. Think about it for a second. Why are you watching me, a human, explain this to you? You could have just fed all the source material into an AI and gotten a summary in, what, 10 seconds? The answer to that question, the reason you chose to be here, is actually the key to this whole thing. It tells us everything about where value is heading.
You see, all the panic we're seeing in the headlines, it isn't just about AI coming for our tasks or our jobs. It's so much deeper than that. We are staring down the barrel of what you might call an AI meaning crisis. And that's because, for so many of us, our work is tangled up with our entire sense of purpose. Okay, so let's break this down, because there are two layers to this threat. On the one hand, you've got the obvious one, AI and our jobs. That's about our livelihoods, our economic stability, but then there's this other, much more profound level. It's an attack on our meaning. For generations, our jobs have been the primary way we've found purpose, built our identity, and even gotten status in our communities. So what on earth happens when that just disappears? Now, this might sound a little bleak, but this isn't the end of meaning. Not at all. It's just the start of a brand new chapter. And to really get a handle on where we're going, we kind of have to look back at how we got here, how our search for purpose has changed over time. So, look at this timeline. The really crucial thing to see here is how the responsibility for creating meaning has shifted. In Act 1, meaning was just handed down to us from up there, from the gods, from the king. Then in Act 2, we had to earn it out there through our work and productivity. But in Act 3, we started questioning and deconstructing all those external sources, which kind of left us with nowhere to turn. And that brings us to today, Act 4, where the buck stops with us. Meaning has to be built from in here, from inside ourselves.
All right, so before we can figure out how to build meaning, we have to know its enemy, right? We have to understand meaninglessness. And it's not just some vague, fuzzy feeling. It's a state that's caused by two very specific things. First, you've got stagnation, that awful feeling of being stuck, of not making any forward progress. And second, you have isolation, that sense that what you're doing is just in a vacuum, that it doesn't connect to or matter to anyone else.
And if those are the bad guys, then the antidote is right here. The two pillars of meaning are the complete opposite of what causes that void. First, we need progress, that feeling of moving forward, of solving problems, usually through some struggle that we choose to take on. And then we need contribution, the incredible feeling that our progress actually matters to other people, that we're connected to something bigger than ourselves. This is where it all starts to click together into a new kind of economy. As AI gets ridiculously good at handling all the friction, the boring, repetitive, mechanical stuff, it frees us up. It frees us up to focus on the one thing we humans do best, handling the narrative, the story, the meaning behind it all.
So what does that actually look like in the real world? Well, the jobs that are most likely to survive and even thrive are the ones that absolutely require a human at the center. We're talking about roles with high liability, like a surgeon, where a human has to be accountable, or positions that require legal standing. And then you have the whole experience and meaning economies, artists, chefs, creators, coaches, where the human touch is literally the entire point. And of course, any job that's built on deep human relationships and trust.
Now, what's the common thread that ties all of those jobs together? This is the big idea. The value is no longer just in the thing you produce, the report, the code, the widget. The value is shifting to the human behind it. You don't just want a good meal. You want a meal from that specific chef you admire. The human isn't just the creator anymore. The human is the product.
And this quote from Naval Ravikant, it just captures the ultimate potential of this shift perfectly. In an economy where your unique individual humanity is the most valuable thing you have, then every single person on the planet has the potential to become their own one-person company, built entirely around their unique story and their unique way of seeing the world.
Okay, let's bring this back down to you. How do you find your irreplaceable value in this new world? The answer is actually pretty simple, even if it's not easy. It's you. Your story, your weird obsessions, your unique perspective, that is the last truly defensible moat you have against being automated. And here's a super simple mental model you can use to think about this. I want you to try it. It's called the swap test. Just ask yourself this. If you were swapped out for somebody else, or for an AI, would the value of what you created go down? If the answer is no,
well, your work is on shaky ground. But if the answer is yes, then you've got yourself a moat.
Let me give you a clear example. A generic stock photo of a sunset is completely swappable. Its value is purely functional. But a photograph from, say, Annie Leibovitz, that is totally unswappable. You can't just switch her out. Its value is tied directly to her unique eye, her history, and the story she tells.
Or think about it like this. An AI can spit out a perfectly good blog post about productivity tips. It's swappable. But it can never, ever write a personal essay that hits you right in the gut because you've been following that author's journey for the last 5 years. That connection, that shared history, that's unswappable. That's the moat.
So, what is this special sauce? What creates this unswappable value? It really boils down to these 5 things. Your unique perspective, which is born from all your lived experiences. Your energy signature, which is just a way of saying what you uniquely care about. Your sense-making, your ability to cut through the noise and decide what's important. Your trajectory, your life story, your failures, your growth, something an AI will never have. And finally, your evolving taste, your ability to change and grow, which keeps you from ever becoming predictable.
Okay, so we know what's valuable. The big question is, how do we actually build that value? It all comes down to this final, super practical part, the new skills stack for the post-AI world. And these aren't just job skills. These are fundamental skills for being human in this new economy.
Now pay close attention, because this is a hierarchy, not just a random list. Each one of these skills builds on the one that came before it. And right at the bottom, the absolute foundation of everything is agency. From there you build taste, then perspective, then persuasion, and only then do you worry about the specific technical skills. Let's talk about agency. This is the meta skill. Honestly, if you don't have this, nothing else matters. It's the ability to act without being told what to do, to choose your own direction, to write your own story. Because without it, you're just following a default script, and that default script is exactly what's being automated away. Okay, next up is taste. Think about it. When AI can generate infinite songs, infinite art, infinite articles, creation itself becomes cheap. It becomes a commodity. So where does the real value go? It shifts to curation. It shifts to the human ability to sift through all that noise and say, this is what's good, this is what matters, this is worth your time. That's taste.
And those final 3 skills, they're what bring your agency and your taste to life. Perspective lets you see the big picture and understand nuance. Persuasion is how you connect with other people and make them actually care about what you found. And technical know-how, well, that's just using the tools, like AI itself, to get your vision out into the world.
So here's where we land. The old model, go to a good school, get a safe job, climb the ladder, and retire, that's over. That default path is vanishing before our eyes. And that's scary for sure, but it's also the greatest opportunity we've ever had. The challenge and the freedom is that you now have to choose your own path. So the real question is, what story will you choose to build?